H. Don't want to waste too much time on vamping, so once we know we're live and all the links have been posted and the like, let's go ahead and get started.
Yeah, I'm just making sure that, it's actually going to be streaming. No, why are you hosting?
I am performing Masterworks.
Okay, alright. Okay, we are officially live. It freaked me out because for a second there I was in host mode for one of my friends, so I was like, what?
We good now, though?
Yeah, I'm just gonna start doing the link bombing, starting with Twitter, because why not?
Alright then, I guess we can go ahead and do the introductions. Once link bombing is finished, I'll actually do the intro. Let's get that done.
Hi, I'm Andy.
Hello, I'm Robert Hunter. Let's go.
I am the Danny Boop. I am currently doing link bombings.
I am Fail Trolls.
Say your name.
I am a third.
Go over this every week, you. Hello, everyone. I'm Ash, or Jim, whatever you want to call me. I'll do that intro the exact same way every single time. And we're just waiting for all of the stream links to be updated and posted. Once they are, we're gonna get rolling.
Yeah, I'm going at it as fast as I can, sorry.
We're behind on all accounts today, so you're fine.
I know.
I guess I'll go ahead and say this. Sorry about us being late today. There's just been a lot of circumstance that has caused us to be late. We're probably going to be playing a little bit of a shorter session tonight, but I want to at least get us a little bit further into this dungeon. What they uncover in these next couple of puzzle rooms.
Specifically, he just wants us to be little puzzling goofs for an hour or two, so he can lord out being smarter than the rest of us, and then we call it.
Or is what I want to do, and that's a big thing about what's coming up.
Yeah, depends what we're running to
If you
first.
want, I can give you my lore. I will.
Next episode, 3 hours of lore.
Hey, you work hard on it, dude.
I'm certain that 3 hours of lore is how the early sessions felt.
Yeah, but that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Alright. Any, just let me know whenever streams and everything are posted.
I think I'm good.
Alright. If you are good, then I'm gonna go ahead and do our intro.
Yeah.
And so, as I always say, last time on the Scattered Realms, Session 42, our band of intrepid adventurers captured the Lucidus Bard, Dravinche the Human Dancer, Morrigan the Hexblade Warlock, Elsie the Sorcerer, and Brimstone the Anti-Art Theory Man. The party continued their adventure through the Kronos Labyrinth, encountering a set of locked doors which they had no real clue how to open. and a set of new rooms containing code sequences that may be the key to opening said doors, as long as they can figure out how to enter them. Now, after facing off against the fire-belching Flare Bellows and the cracking the code of the Rainbow Connection, continue on to see what the next room has in store for them. But to pick up where we left off last time, you all had just gotten open, such as with the connection point to the current room you're in. It has a single square wide hallway leading to another door.
Okay. Yeah. So I get my.
Yeah, it
Thank
might
you,
help
yeah.
if I have the screen actually on our map.
Might help a little bit.
Boop.
There we go.
Boop.
And so, as you all know, there's a strength check coming up for you. So, who wants to try to be strong?
Brimstone.
What? Why not? I'll try.
So, walks up to the door with confidence
7.
and struggles greatly.
Brimstone, could you help her?
He's struggling for a while. Brimstone, you just walk up behind Keta and grab the bars to turn it for her.
Basically, just get it going, then just let Kenta open the rest of the way.
Kinda gotta help her along the way, even then.
After we had solved the puzzle, Da Vinci would kind of check his watch, see how they're doing on time.
You're checking it now, or is this like a retroactive checking, see what you guys left off last game at?
See where we left off last game at.
I mentioned this in the after game, but did not mention it on stream. I did my math slightly wrong. At the end of last session, you guys had been at the 2 hours and 45-minute mark.
Okay, he's just going to keep that in mind as continue.
Once you get the
It
door
takes
open,
it takes a little while for you guys to get the door open. Keta, you were struggling with it for a while before Brimstone decided to step up and actually help you. And even then, turning the cranks on these doors takes a while. Once you get that door open, you enter into another one of these 4x4 rooms. Maintaining the same sort of pattern that's going on right now.
Kind of like this. Blink.
It has another doorway leading out in the bottom right-hand corner of the door of the room. Yep.
Blink.
Most notably, within this chamber, the center of it is dominated by a massive topographical map.
Maps.
Space in the middle of the room is dominated by a map with placards around it.
So, like covering the center of it like this?
Square is slightly smaller than a along with the placards that one of them is on each side of it.
Sorry, you cut out there. Could you please repeat that?
Yeah, you've got it in the correct spot, and it has 4 placards, one on each side of it. In this room as well, you notice that the floor seems to be dominated by several long and winding pipes. Large bell-like horns at the north side of the room. 5 outlets.
What did the placard say?
You look at them. Takes a second to recognize the language because it's been a while since you've seen an actual written out format. The 5 horns are actually spaced equidistant across the entire north side of the room.
Okay.
Taking a second to read it over, Keta, you do sort of get a sense for what the language is in Celestial.
Oh,
Good. It's only like 2 of us can read it.
saying that, Catherine goes, I'm sorry, Mountain, cover your ears a little.
It doesn't help.
I'm just warning you.
Trying to be helpful.
And she's gonna read it a bit in Celestial under her breath first before she'll read it out in common for the others.
Alright, and additional note to make about the room's construction, each one of those bell horns has a ball that is currently plugging the top of the horn.
So they're so they're just stopped up.
And because only you and Felzy can read this, which is the one currently reading it, so I'm going to give you access to this.
I get a thing. Alright. Oh, goodness
It's
gracious.
quite a long placard.
Alright.
And now then, finish drawing. Is that all the map stuff drawn?
Alright. So Kettle will read it out loud in common for everyone. Listen close, for this tale is not one often heard to the ears of those who follow. And remember, be wary of those you ask for aid, for they may seek the spoils of your downfall. Our blessed mother, born of cold steel into a frigid world, cast down from the great sea of stars unto a great mountain of ice. There she cracked its peak, split the world asunder, and set loose the great wings of blaze to once more soar to the skies of this frozen world. Many of her pieces were carried far and wide by her birth unto this world, and it was as her followers, we, the children of steel, were tasked to search for one that would aid us in her revival without abuse. First, we set to ask the woman who first discovered us and our blessed mother's corpse, but she only sought to forge unbreaking chains from our mother's bones, to lasso and bind the great wings of blaze, and claim its divine power for her own. Such a woman could never aid us, so we took the blessed mother's heart and flesh and fled. We ventured across the grand and deep oceans till our feet found purchase on the next horn of a great felled beast, somehow slain man, who we next asked for aid. He cannot aid us, but in exchange for some of the blessed mother's flesh, he would point us to one who may. He cast a great trident from her rendered flesh, a sight of great terror for our kind, and used it to guide us further. Sands of purest white that soon became gray underfoot sought to fill our gears and halt our travels, till a woman with eyes and hair of the most vibrant aurora offered us her aid. She asked of us nothing, and we followed in her footsteps as the sand beneath remembered every one she took. A grand tree whose roots crept deep into the foundation of the lands, binding it together. That is where we next sought to make our request. A being allowed us rest and respite, but could not aid us, as our flesh was poison to his kind. We were saddened, but understood his words. He pointed us further onward, towards a man, a friend, he said, cared so dearly for life, with a mind so bright, and touch able to heal all things. Surely he could aid us in our blessed mother's rebirth. We left, remembering the structure of his grand tree of life, knowing that if we ever had need to build a home, a place like his would surely suit us. Nature clockwork, perfect unison in tension. Our bodies were rusted and weathered by the journey. By the time our feet found themselves on soft-tilled earth, humans turned a curious and wary eye to our procession, but we had not time to explain to them our cause or reason. We merely traveled onwards, a humble home set before us. Carefully placed logs made its walls, and perfectly cut sheets of clear emerald from a nearby hill its windows. We collapsed, but from within, a man with youth in his eyes and age on his features steps out to meet us. With a touch, we simply feel the rust lift from our bodies, and he simply asks us how he can help. We tell him, and in time our blessed mother is reborn, though we know not if he understands our story. So, wait a second. Keta's gonna go to the map and start kind of looking to see if it's like a full like world map.
It is. It is a full like world map. Oh, it looks a little odd compared to the world you're used to. It looks actual
Okay.
like landscape is sort of warped, and there are places that at the current time do not exist, and other places that should exist do not exist.
Guys, I think we're supposed to track the procession of the constructs and the
Well,
gods that they meant.
I was about to say that, but could barely get a breath in.
I'm sorry, I had to read out the plaque.
Hmm.
I'm gonna take a look at the plaque as well.
No longer has words on it.
Oh,
Um.
uh,
So how can we mark their travels? How high are the trumpets with the orbs in them?
The trumpets with the orbs in them sit about 5 feet off the ground at their point, at the like top point.
Hmm.
But the
Okay.
actual orbs that are in the trumpets are about 2 foot across. They're large.
Well, before we go messing with anything else, Keta's gonna kind of like pull out some candies. Let's start simple and see if we can understand the map.
Well,
because I only heard it, I can only remember 3 of the locations.
I didn't catch like any.
The first location, or at least
The volcano in Tesverel.
the second one, or it was either first or second was Tesverel.
Mhm.
Then it was the Temple of Zamodus.
First one is Tesverel. Second one is gonna be somewhere on the coast because that's where they met Terrestria. Third would be Zamodus Temple.
Fourth
Next-
was Blessed Kingdom.
The fourth would be himself's grove, and then fifth would be what I can
Graynham.
only assume is Graynham's home. The reason why I say the volcano of Tesseril is they met Ignesia, and Ignesia wanted to take some of the metal to make a lasso to bind the divine essence of something.
that would also be fitting because, if I recall correctly, that Tesverel was also where Altea was born.
Yeah, wasn't Brimstone, didn't you mention you saw that a long time ago the world was just covered in ice?
And the Hellmouth was. I don't know about
So-
the world in general. That's all I could see.
Well, it onto a great mountain of ice. It could be she fell on the Hellmouth.
I don't have written things, so I can't tell if there was a. Didn't I mention the first one was where she died?
I don't know.
Like she died first, then they met Ignesia.
Yeah, it. I assume it's at least going to be in the same area, of like Tesveril.
Didn't.
Keta, I will say this because you were the one who first touched the placard and read it.
Mm-hmm.
Notice that the writing on it went away after you finished reading it, because it seemed like the power for it just left it.
Right. They never thought this story would be told again.
If you'd like to make an Arcana check, you might be able to figure out how you could turn the placard back on.
Yeah.
I'd like to do that.
Yeah, I would as
It would
well.
have to be Keta because she's the only one who touched
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So I was too
You could
busy.
attempt to assist her if you want to make an Arcana check.
I just clicked it. I don't know if it's going to come up.
Well, just Da Vinci would have mentioned maybe it's like the door we entered in.
23 to assist.
Right then. That would mean Keta gets to... You broke the threshold real hard, so... Keta, you get to make the roll with advantage.
Oh.
Roll again, see if you get a higher roll.
15!
Hey, that's what you need.
Yay!
Alrighty then. With a 15, you do realize upon touching it, had a little bit of magic stored inside of it, but when you touched it and then were allowed to read it, that used up that magic. You could turn it back on if you pump some magic back into it.
I'm just going to kind of put my hand on the placard and gonna kind of continuously cast prestidigitation into it.
Fortunately, it will not work with a cantrip. You can understand that pretty easily.
Can I do something like meta magic where I just give it a sorcery point?
You would have to at least give it 2 to my understanding, because it needs to at least be a spell slot.
I was going to say Keta will just give it a second level.
Right? A second level spell slot.
Yeah.
It is charged for the time being. You don't know how long it will last. Now I
Does
will
he-
put this back into both Failsy's and Keta's.
Feels you might want to write this down.
Uh,
Yeah.
that was a scribble note.
Da Vinci, as you're walking around and looking at the watch, you actually watch as it ticks over to 3 hours.
Okay.
And Keta, in the back of your head, you just suddenly hear...
Morning. I'm bored.
I'm just going to pick up the sending stone and go, is everything okay out there? As my response to that. And then
Wait a long time, and you just hear...
It's been not about 3 days now outside.
Yeah, I just got a message, and I think Glee may be sleeping. I don't know.
For the sake of it, it does not sound like he's snoring. It sounds like he was talking super fast.
If you're getting the message at the same pace as he's speaking it, then you're probably getting it all at once.
I have
You
no
suddenly
idea.
would suddenly recall at that mention that a couple of times in the dungeon you've just heard a random thing that just goes in your brain.
And
You
it's
were
like,
like fighting during the other moments it happened, so register.
It's like, okay, hold on. Let me try to piece together what the fuck you just said.
Probably it's been another day. My watch hit our third hour.
Alright, well,
Which means
Let's
we've
get
only
to-
got 9 more hours before we have to abandon ship or get out of here.
I mean, we have an idea of what what this puzzle is.
Okay.
Um,
2.
Kat is gonna kind of mark off where she thinks at least some of these are.
First would be Tezverel.
Tezerel.
Second would be Kingfisher Island.
Yeah.
We ventured across the oceans until our feet found purchase on the horn of a great felled beast.
Wait, no. Aren't the ports named after beasts, though?
It could be Jezebeth.
Hornport?
It could,
I think it might be the
I think it might be Jezebeth because then they go to the Flagora Desert.
So Hornport then.
but there is a foundry on Kingfisher Island.
Where that place has a strong connection to Altea. So it would make sense for them to go to places that have strong significance to her.
Unless there's I don't know anyone with a trident.
You want to make a
Isn't-
religion check?
I will.
Uh-oh,
What do I
Andy's
remember?
laptop just shut off.
Ooh, that's not good.
Doesn't Aquila you have something relating to a trident?
I don't know.
Oh, you said you don't know, so Brimstone doesn't care enough to know.
This is religious shit. Immediately, Brimstone's. I don't fucking know.
I would say that Elsie with your religion check of 18 and Brimstone just with your military history, Trident is Aquila's weapon.
Yeah, okay.
Wields a massive silver trident as his weapon.
Woo! I was right.
Yeah, it's big and shiny and ostentatious, just like him.
Refers to it as the Leviathan Skullcracker.
Okay. Does the first question is does Aquila operate heavily in Jezebeth?
I mean,
You would all be aware that that is literally his country.
Okay. Just double
I
check.
mean, considering how many ports are there, yeah, it makes sense.
So
He
skipping
does.
Kingfisher Island, then yeah, we're looking at Hornport.
So how are we supposed to be marking these down? And Darinchi's gonna poke at Tezverel on the map.
The map lights up and your finger is stuck.
Oh.
Wait. And he's going to try dragging his finger on the map to
Hornport?
to Hornport.
Watch as a crackling line of energy forms underneath your finger as you trail it over to Hornport.
Okay. What's the next place?
Feel like if you mess this up, you're going to get very badly hurt.
Okay. Well, I'm reasonably sure I know what I'm doing. But it's not my finger. Sands of Purest White.
Wasn't that the?
This would be a
I was just going to say, you also all hear as there's suddenly a sound as two of the balls start floating
Okay,
on the side of the
well,
room.
Those the first two are right. Maybe.
that's two. That's two places correct. Flagora Desert, wasn't that white? You Failsy, you said something about the sands being white. Maybe something happened to make it rainbow. Maybe you went down to the desert.
Best location would be the Temple of Zamodus.
It did mention
Mhm.
the woman we met there.
Okay, Dorinji is gonna trail his finger along the land to and down to the Zamodus Temple.
You do that. The Zamodus Temple is not on this map, but you do trail it to the Flagora Desert, and you all hear as the third horn just suddenly goes.
Okay.
Himself's Grove is in what would be the Blossom Kingdom, I believe.
Hmm.
Next one would be the Blossom Kingdom, the Grand Tree.
Okay, so let's try straight east. And bring it around to where the Blossom Kingdom is.
Vinci, drill damage. As the
Damn
line
it.
under your finger suddenly turns red, you feel horrible pain rack up your arm.
Ah!
He did it right, though, didn't he?
Apparently not.
My thought is that it would have been more south, but Da Vinci was just following orders.
Alright, so you take 15 points of necrotic damage as this red energy crackles up your arm.
Oh, okay. You're not doing that one again. If we're gonna be stuck here trying to figure this out, we should take turns with it. And what again without if nobody stops her, is going to put her finger on Tezverel.
Alright.
Just trace the line that we had so far.
Yeah,
I will
from
say this. As he pulled his hand away, all of the horns stop and the balls just drop back into place.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't Blossom Kingdom? Was it? If you're referring to himself, we met
it might be in the Emerald Plateau.
yeah,
Might be.
because we met the Guardian down Titilla. We met her down there.
Alright, well. It was Tezverel, Hornport, then the Flagora Desert, right?
Mm.
Yep. Ah.
Dervinja, your arm is numb right now.
So it's less and more
It's like
just
a painful numb.
like pins and needles times
When
100.
when your foot's coming back awake after falling asleep.
except painful.
Well, that can be painful sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it can be.
So, but Morrigan would trace from Tezverel to Hornport to the Flagora Desert. Alright, so...
Arthan. You hear the same three horn sounds as the first three balls rise into the air at different levels.
Alright, so the Great...
Mm,
Would the Emerald Plateau be a good second guess for where to go next?
Most likely, if it's
Well-
not the Blossom Kingdom.
Alright, well, I'll go there, and if it zaps me, we know we're wrong. And she will drag her finger to the Emerald Plateau.
Andy, there is a ton of sound coming from your side.
The fans.
she's probably calling in on her phone.
Hmm.
Drag your finger to where the Emerald Plateau is, and you hear a as the fourth horn blares and the ball rises.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. If it's following their journey, then they would have gone back here. What was the last bit on the?
Our bodies were rusted and weathered from the journey by the time our feet found themselves on the soft-tilled earth. This would be Grainum, I think. Humans.
probably.
Humans. Can't explain reasons. And it obviously spoke of Grainum himself.
Would it be the Bastion?
Hmm. Well, Grainum is known for farmland, so that does fit.
Alright, well, I don't know where the bastion is, so if somebody could point it on the map for me to drag my finger there, that would be amazing.
Yeah, can Keta go over and look on the map to see if the Bastion is on the map?
You know where the Bastion currently is in your world, and you see no marking for the Bastion on this map.
Fuck.
It might just be in that region.
What about
Oh,
Grainum
all
proper
you
itself?
What you currently see where the Bastion should be is a small mountain.
Just
Well, where it should be is a mountain. I don't think
Like,
it's
this is a map.
fucking mountain.
Well, this is probably a very old map.
Yeah.
1,000 years? Maybe Grainum kicked them out into the sea.
Well, from what Ketcha knows of at least the history, would the Bastion be a settlement of humans?
Yes.
Or have been a settlement of humans?
Yes. The Bastion was originally constructed by being carved out of a mountain of emerald.
So it's gotta be somewhere around here. They mentioned that there's a hill nearby that they must have gotten the emerald from.
Well,
Then-
if it would be that mountain, then should I drag my finger over there?
Not to the mountain, but to at least around it.
Alright, so in the
Yeah,
general
yeah.
vicinity of the mountain, alright.
I
And
mean,
Mulligan will do
Mother's
so.
Temple. Yeah, but
Drag your finger over to nearby this mountain on the map. Just hear a as the final horn blares, and you're able to lift your finger from the map.
Okay.
Okay.
That I'll admit,
Um,
knowing that I could have got that from that was scary.
Yes, could you please not have done that?
Well, I figured it would be better for somebody who hadn't got hurt from it to go ahead and do the next one. Next try of it. And we got lucky and got it right the second go.
You'll just hear the low hum of the horns behind you as you're looking over the map.
They never thought they'd have their story told again.
Well, good thing a bard found this place then, huh?
Yeah. Good thing.
Is that for Da Vinci?
Yes.
A little bit of cure wounds.
I think that's only
Ugh.
a few points off from what you lost, so that's not too bad.
Yeah. Like 3 hit points missing from what he had before.
You lost
Ugh.
15 HP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
didn't see
he's
the higher level cast part.
so as he gets healing, just during this whole time, he's been clutching his hand, his finger's still out pointing. So now he actually lets his hand relax and flexes out his fingers. Ah. Thank you. Is there any lights coming off of the horns, or looking at the horns? Is there anything noticeable or out of place?
About the horns themselves, they're just blowing air out of them, making this low humming sound. Different levels.
Are we able to open the door in the room now? Or is there something...
Yes, the final door does click open.
Okay, That was the part I was missing. It's just like, okay, if the door didn't click, there must be a second part.
He might have got garbled when he said the door clicked open.
You guys did solve this puzzle.
Okay.
Okay.
Yay! I'm puzzled.
This was a relatively fast solve, so that should help us with our time.
Speaking of which, DM.
15 minutes into the third hour. Based on the actual time you guys have been talking about this.
That's fair.
Okay, we're only 15 minutes in, 45 before the next day passes. Let's keep moving.
Yeah.
Let's get that door. Strength checks.
Did you all get your code?
Where would it be?
That's for you to find out. There's no clearly displayed sequence of numbers for you this time. Or rather, a pattern.
Wait.
The only thing that changed in the room is the balls.
How are,
Heights?
how are they arranged? Are they like in an ascending?
They're not in an ascending order. The first one rose up, so the far left one is one of the highest. Middle one is the highest.
Oops, shit.
Second one is the lowest. Third one is in the middle of that and the last one.
So, two. You said the one in the middle was the highest?
Yes, the one in the middle is the highest.
I'm just going to throw them up here. What's the next highest?
The one in the middle is the
Yeah.
the next highest is the first one.
And the second one?
The second orb is the lowest.
And the fifth orb, the one to the furthest to the right.
It's in the middle.
Okay, so 2, 4, 5, 1, 3.
2, 4, 5, 1, 3.
Okay. 2, 4, 5, 5, 1, 3. Okay, now let's get moving.
I'm hoping that's the code.
Who is wanting to be strong?
Dervincio will try. He's the one
All right,
pushing to move
Mr.
forward.
Numarm.
Yeah. Didn't really think that through, but yeah.
All right, go ahead and make a strength check. It's not that's safe.
that-
Make a check. No, what's the same modifier? But make a check.
14.
Alright. It's a little bit of doing, but you managed to get it to start to move and eventually pry open.
Ash, is the code supposed to be read from right to left? Or left to right? Are we going manga or Western comic style?
I think it's down to up.
Down to up because that's what the first puzzles when we entered in were red.
Keep in mind, you're not actually supposed to be seeing these as strings of numbers. They're patterns.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just we're able to correlate the patterns to numbers.
If you're looking at it in a numerical format, you're supposed to read it from left to right. As far as you're aware, bottom to top.
Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
I'm looking at
Open the door.
I say we all at least have a step back from the door. Like,
So I just want to check that code. If I've got the, are those, how I've got the boxes now, would that be how they're arranged in height?
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 24513.
Okay.
For the sake of your guys' numerical looking at it, you have the numbers, right?
Okay. Yeah, I was just double checking that was how it was written. Yeah. Or at least how Failsy solved the first couple of puzzles.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty then.
Okay.
So upon opening that bottom door, it leads into basically a mirror of the other side. So if you want to go ahead and draw it, it would be another one hallway with another door, and it's going to lead into a 4x4 room.
Biscuit. Here, biscuit. And I guess this door as well.
Yep.
Is there any exiting rooms?
So you haven't gone into the other room yet. I'm just having you lay that out for the sake of going ahead and getting the map laid out.
Oh, good.
But another door lies before you. Who shall open it?
Puzzle or animate object trying to kill us?
Do you want to put a
I mean,
bet on
last-
it?
Oh, let's just.
Dorinja, we're maybe close to the end. This is your quest. Go get him, buddy.
I was
Just
not
get-
scared to try it, but okay.
Mm,
All could help each other.
Alright, well, you open the last door, Dravinci. I'll try to open this one, okay?
Okay, and I'll try to help her.
So, Dravinci, you go ahead and make your check. Just exactly what you need to actually assist on the roll. So Morgan, you get advantage.
So just roll 2 strength checks and take the higher?
Yep.
Alright.
Hey.
5!
It's unfortunate. Even with both of you working on it, it's just not budging. Try at it for a little while and you just can't make any headway.
Alright, this ain't working.
Would you like some help?
Yeah. My arm's still being a bit numb.
Would you like some help?
Yes, please.
I'll try.
Okay, tag out.
Keta's gonna try on her lonesome.
Fails to help.
Felzy,
just-
go ahead and make your check to see if you can assist.
What does this spell do?
Or you can do magic, that's fine.
I just wanted to double check what this actually did.
Why don't we have the knock spell?
Tick.
Because I
Um,
don't have
I was
any.
gonna have you waiting to see if Felzy was gonna do hers first. Felzy said she was gonna assist you, so
Yeah, I was going to, but that's because Failsy's a cheating bastard. I'm also going to add a bit of bless.
Oh.
hashtag glass. It doesn't help you on strength checks though.
Doesn't it? Attack
No.
save.
Attack.
It's attacker saving.
Thinking
Yeah,
the
got-
guidance trip.
That's what I was reading. Was speed reading. Sorry. Get to my-
Good. You don't don't use the spell. You wouldn't understand how your magic works, so you don't use it.
Yeah.
Double checking. Okay. Assistance then. Where did my character go?
Roll a straight check and let's see if you get above a 10.
Cool. Strength. It's a straight roll.
So unfortunately you're not assisting, so Keta,
Noodle
6
arm.
is what you're stuck with.
Ugh.
Both of you trying, but you're getting exhausted.
Velchal, could you help out a bit here?
She's going to gently brush you all aside as she steps up. Alright, let's see if I can do this.
Fenris, tag out.
Vel'Shal's struggling at it. Oh, do you want to make Fenris assist?
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll a strength check for Fenris to see if he can assist.
Or he's got like he's the strongest of us all.
Strongest.
I mean, aside Vel'Shal, I don't know what her strength is.
Yeah, we don't know about Vel'Shal.
Alright, so Fenris is able to assist. That'll give Vel'Shal advantage. The dog adding weight, Vel'Shal is able to get the wheel to turn. This one is particularly rusty.
Fenris, just Bork, Bjork.
Bork, Bjork, more.
Well,
As he just struts to fails, yell proud.
Doesn't
Please
strut.
feel
He
vindicated.
walks up to her, stares at her, and sits down.
at least feel vindicated that I couldn't open it.
Fun is particularly rusty. Amazing. Stuck on their goods. Alright then.
Unfortunately, I've
Sure,
already
the amount of checks
evacuated
taken.
all my acids, so I can't melt this door down.
No melting.
This is an ancient place. We've already done enough damage defending ourselves.
Anyway,
Door
let's-
opens. Sorry.
No, just a. Anyway, let's see what's in this next room. Open door.
The door opens and you see a room lined with black iron walls, which is different because every other part of the structure has so far been the walls have been made of this sort of bronze-colored material. The walls of this room are black iron, and every 5 feet there is a purple crystal jutted out of the wall. The dominant features of the room is in the top left corner. There is a large crystal middle point. So all these crystals, by the way, are lined up with the crosshatch points on the squares, by the way.
Okay.
The one crystal is here,
Yeah, between the squares.
and one crystal is here.
See if you could color for him.
What colors are the crystals? Are they all purple?
They're all purple.
Hmm.
And in the two larger crystals on either side of the room, they are crackling with that same reddish colored lightning.
So there's one there. Where else is there? Another one?
Bottom right hand.
Okay, 2 crystals that exude lightning. This is gonna be fantastic.
Probably don't want to stand between them.
I'm assuming none of you all have entered the room yet.
Not yet. least
Keta
Brim
was gonna. Keta was just gonna kind of see if there's like anything that's loose that you could toss in there to see what would happen.
Anything in your pack you could toss in, you could certainly do that. But there's nothing loose or
gonna
debris
toss in a
lying around the
candy.
place. Toss in a candy?
Uh huh.
You watch immediately as a bolt of lightning from the top left crystal fires out and almost hits the candy, but instead hits one of the crystals on the floor.
Well,
Don't get between the crystals and the. And
And a couple of
Sorry.
seconds later, the crystal in the bottom right-hand corner of the room fires and hits the candy, evaporating it instantly.
Ew.
I wonder if
good thing I
the
did
small
that before we walked
crystals.
in.
I wonder if the small crystals act as lightning rods, and therefore, as long as we don't get between a small crystal and a large crystal, we should be safe. But-
I might have a spell that could circumvent all this if we can see if there's a panel where we need to put the code in.
At most, I can maybe conjure a barrage of pine cones.
What I'm saying is if
Yeah,
we
you
can,
do.
if we can see where the code, if there's a code meant to be put in, if we can see where it goes, I could do Misty Step to get to it.
I will say you all watch as the one crystal that was struck with lightning is illuminated for a few seconds, but then dulls.
What if we have to light up all the crystals?
That means someone running around in there, dodging lightning and getting the various crystals hit.
Or, hear me out. We have one spell that maybe hits the entire wave of things that might activate things.
What, are you gonna try to cast Shatter and get them all lit up?
It's not Shatter, Thunderwave, there's a difference.
It's still a thunderous boom.
What?
Not lightning.
I don't think that's gonna matter at this point. I don't think anything's gonna come running at us.
More, I'm trying to make the point that thunder and lightning, while accompanying each other in both both aspects of the air affinity, are not equal to each other.
Hey, you have any other better ideas, Dervince?
Anything that strikes lightning at a range.
So at most I could do a thunder wave, or I can conjure a barrage of pine cones.
No, the pine cones might work actually.
Actually, I have an idea. Instead of you casting pine cones and throwing them in.
No,
But it's a similar vein. Da Vinci is going to kind of walk up to the entrance, pull out a small bag out of his backpack, and scatter as far as he can 1,000 ball bearings.
All right, where are you throwing them? Where are you trying to make them land? Because they're only going to land in a small space around you, because you're essentially just tossing a bag.
He's more trying to scatter the ball bearings so that they roll continuously, scattering out into the room, like not trying to focus them on a small area. But given ball bearings' literal reading of pouring them out, that would be a kind of a 10-foot square in here or over here.
All right. I'm guessing you're trying to go for as much surface area as you possibly can.
Yes.
Right. Go ahead and make for me just a strength check, just to see how well you toss them.
16.
All right. I'll say with that, you're able to scatter them over the 3x3 square directly in front of the door. Assuming that's kind of the area you want to aim for, is it?
Yeah.
And make a bunch of rolls.
Oh boy.
Time to make 1,000 roll. That would suck.
You guys have just taken a shorter session and made it 100 years long.
Also, just measured it. Thunderwave would fit perfectly in this room.
Okay, so first thing you see is as soon as the ball bearings leave your hands and enter into this room, I actually have to check to see if they react to your hand entering this room. The lightning of the two, which has recharged by the time you guys have been talking, starts firing out immediately.
Just
Immediately.
throw it out. Duck!
The square of ball bearings immediately to the right of the top left one evaporated. The metal is evaporated. The rest of them just sort of sit on the ground as these things slowly but surely recharge.
Now, is there any gems near that?
There's gems
Near
on every single point of this room.
Yeah,
However, the
I'm
lightning
ask-
bolts aren't missing the ball bearings.
I'm asking. Okay, so the gems are not being charged.
It seems to. You notice the candy fly into the room earlier. The lightning bolt missed the candy and hit
And then from there,
and hit one of them.
so it almost
Now they're not missing the ball bearings because they haven't rolled below a 10. So they just keep incinerating 5-foot squares of the ball bearings.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think that's it.
Da Vinci is.
You do actually watch as the bottom one fires towards this square, misses, and the lightning bolt races past the most bottom left crystal, illuminated. Doesn't flicker back out like the other did.
Okay. Da Vinci is then going to, using the ball bearings as a distraction. You said this upper right or upper left square?
Okay,
Was
so 'cause I've been
vaporized?
rolling for this. These two squares have already been destroyed. These two squares have been destroyed. This square is still around, and then these squares are still. Should just use the ruler.
Okay.
These squares are still around, and this square. The ruler set to where you see it. Okay.
Okay, so these kind of 3 squares.
The topmost 4 squares and the bottom left square.
Okay. Da Vinci is going to try to, using his tempo, kind of keep track of the timing. And in a moment where both crystals have expended themselves, run in and using the actual verbal components, be casting Shocking Grasp onto the crystals on the ground.
The crystals themselves shoot about 12 seconds, and then they fire again.
Okay, so he's
2 turns.
Okay, he's going to immediately run to kind of the far side of the room. So I'll just move my token there. And is it every 5 feet on the floor, or are corners and walls also counted for?
Corners and walls also included. The one that would be in the bottom left of where your token is the one that got hit and is still illuminated.
Okay, Da Vinci is then going to grab chalk this one and this one.
Alright, you do so. You shock both of them. You watch as the bottom one does nothing. The top one illuminates.
Okay.
Oddly enough, the crystal when you touch it is not crackling with that red lightning. It's crackling with sort of like a normal sort of yellow pale lightning.
So the ones on the floor did not react to him, but the ones on the walls did.
Oh. None of them are on the walls. They're all on the floor.
Or against the wall, I should say.
The one against the wall did not react. The one that's in the middle of the floor did.
Okay.
For the sake of it, I'll use the paintbrush tool to show you which ones have reacted.
Okay.
Those are the ones that have reacted.
Okay.
You're doing?
Well, I casted twice, so then it would be the crystal's shot.
Just making sure that you weren't going to try to run away. The current largest source of movement in the room, so they're both going to fire at you. It would be a 19 and a 16 to hit.
One of them hits.
All right. As a bolt of this crackling red lightning races out towards you.
Aren't you wearing metal?
That's not important. This red lightning actually deals necrotic damage anyway. Looks like lightning. It doesn't hurt like lightning. Flat D8 of die damage. That's 12 damage with an 8 and a 6. Or that's 14 damage with 8 and a 6.
Okay. I can take that.
So you all just watch in horror from the doorway as you see one of those red bolts of lightning race out, strike Travince in the chest. You did actually notice, Travince, the bolt that missed you hits this crystal and illuminates it with red energy.
So the floor is reacting to lightning, the wall reacts to necrotic.
I have a question. When
Yeah, you took that damage and now they're turned off and recharging again.
I have a question, DM. When we saw the
Good
bolt
question.
hit,
This is all moving pretty fast, guys.
when we saw the bolt hit Travince, did it hit and like have a similar pattern to lightning, or did it have a similar kind of pattern like when like necrotic spells hit?
It looks like lightning hits him.
Mm-hmm.
You watch as instead of it being like a burn mark like lightning would leave, the actual like red energy crackles along his skin. Like just to draw life force out of him.
Alright,
Are there any loose crystals, or are they all like buried?
They're all
the
in the wall. They're all in the floor.
Okay.
Like embedded in the floor.
Travince, you might need to combat it with Radiant if the red is what I think it is.
During this time of recharge, Da Vinci is going to move here and shock this one.
You shock that one, nothing happens.
Okay, move here, shock this one.
When you move there, one does illuminate.
I'm gonna blast out a
They're
spell.
both going to fire at you again.
Sorry.
I'd still have more movement, so I would move out of the room.
Would still get a chance to fire at you while you're leaving the room. Roll the natural 1. The other one rolled a natural 20. So I'm going to roll severity for the natural one, which is fairly severe. So it's actually going to. That was the bottom one. So it's actually going to illuminate 2 crystals. And the damage. And luckily rolled a 2 and a 1 for the damage die. So that's a total of 6 damage you take.
Okay, so Rinche's hurting, but he can still take one more hit. 1 or 2 more hits as he just kind of dives back out of the room. Ugh. Ugh.
Yeah, Dravinche, like an immediate burning pain like you're expecting from being hit with lightning. It's just this feeling of being utterly exhausted. All of your
That's-
life energy is being drained out of you.
That's not normal lightning. Well, at least he'll continue frying the ball bearings.
It hit like necrosis does.
Yeah, also, not all the crystals react to electricity.
Maybe we're supposed to follow the path that is going to be lit up by the. Are the ones that Da Vinci lit up staying lit up?
Yes, the ones that got lit up by these events are staying lit. You do notice that as these arcs start forming between them, what was previously his sort of crackly yellow energy of lightning is being turned red.
Da Vinci, you're a mad genius. I think
Not
we're
certainly.
I think that look, okay, so his crystals are still being lit up. I think that there's a path we have to follow that are going to be crystals that are lit up.
Either that or this room might create the a similar symbol to what we've been seeing on the floor.
The code.
We didn't have to put in the code. Yeah. Well, the code is what. Morgan, you're genius.
I was just finishing your thought. How does that make me a genius?
Yeah, I'm not good at putting together thoughts. What if the code is the path? At least.
I think because it shocked me as I was both entering and trying to enter and trying to leave. I think it's more that once all the crystals that follow along that would create the symbol have been lit, this room deactivates. So,
Well, let's not kill you. Let's maybe try some range thing.
I was about to suggest, what's that spell? Chill the hand thing.
I don't have the hand.
I do.
I have Word of Radiance, and that can only really work in a 5-foot area.
I can do. Tell me which ones to send it after.
God.
Try try that one.
All right. Because it's worth
That took a
trying.
lot out of me.
They continue to shock and evaporate the ball bearings and ignore the hand.
Okay.
But
so that
she's-
didn't work.
She's referring to using the hand to grab and deal necrotic to the crystal on the floor.
They are ignoring the hand.
Okay.
Don't know if that got cut off, but I did specifically say that.
Okay.
Maybe Mage Hand would work?
What if you... That might, if you pick up a ball bearing and hold it close to a crystal, it might electrocute it instead of just the ball bearing.
I don't know Mage
Wait,
Hand.
I'm sorry. Were you saying you were using Chill Touch? Because I kept hearing you guys saying you were using Mage Hand.
I was saying Chill
Oh.
Touch. That's the spell I clicked. It's on the
Guys,
roll.
I have to look at the actual map to keep that in mind.
Okay, well it's in the roll 20 chat that I clicked Chill
But
Touch.
Okay.
Anyway,
sorry.
yeah, we cast Chill Touch on
Sorry,
the one.
I heard you
in-
guys talking about Mage Hand, so I was confused.
Referring to the fact that Chill Touch canonically is supposed to be like a hand.
Getcha. I'm sorry. That was me being confused.
No worries.
No worries.
Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay. 2.
You watch as the crystal starts to illuminate, but it does not seem to be enough damage. Or enough energy channeled.
Well, definitely seems like Necrotic did something, but I wasn't able to do enough right then.
Try.
I can I can try again, yeah.
Failsy, Geta, do you have anything?
At this point, all of the ball bearings are gone.
Alright, well I'm gonna try for that same one again, see if I can do anything to it.
Please ping for me again exactly which one it is you're touching. Alright.
So, roll damage again. Ash?
Yes.
Okay.
You hear me?
Yeah, I heard you. Ah, 1.
Fortunately, just don't seem to be channeling enough energy through it to cause the crystal to react. Not sure if it's because you're channeling the energy from outside the room, as you saw that Dravenche's shocking grasp seemed to affect it no matter what.
Never been that
I
great
do
with
love
this
that.
spell.
But I don't have any necrotic spells.
I know this one, but I'm not very good at it.
Makes me want to, maybe next level, I can sort that issue out. But as for now, most I could do is I need something unbreakable. I
Unbreakable.
have my iron flask.
You pull out your iron flask, you said?
Yeah, I pull out my iron flask.
Weirdly
That
enough, appears to be made of a very similar material to the walls of this room.
I put it in my mage hand.
Right, you put it in your mage hand.
Yes. And I'll float it over. Where's my pingy? Float on top of this one.
Ping one more time because I wasn't looking.
Ping.
Alrighty then. They're both going to fire the moment it enters the room.
Not my hand.
Both bolts hit the flask, and you just watch as this crackling red-black energy starts cascading off of it. I actually need for you to make an Arcana check to see if it destroys your mage hand.
Where's my buttons? Cool. Arcana. 8.
Unfortunately, your mage hand, upon it getting hit with this, is destroyed. And the flask just clatters to the ground.
It's all good. I have more. I have hands for days.
And you take 1 point of necrotic damage from the feedback of the spell.
How?
Better than getting hit directly by it.
I'll try and mage hand the flask again.
Pick it up while everything is still recharging and float it over to the point, I assume.
Yes.
They're going to both try to fire again.
If they
Ooh, both miss.
Oh.
I have the AC in mind for what they're trying to hit, which was just an item floating in the air. The top one actually critically misses, so it aims way in the wrong direction. Tier, the top one actually hits the other pillar.
Oh shit.
Oh, line formed.
Is that matching up with the code?
while it's not while it's doing that.
Do you want to move it? Because you got 18 seconds to move it. Tell me now. All right.
Other side of the pillar.
Right. One of them did miss.
I'm gonna jump over to this one while they're recharging.
One of them did miss, so I actually need you to make an Arcana check to see if you can maintain the spell.
Arcana.
Avoid taking feedback damage.
12.
12. Unfortunately, that is not high enough. I will tell you right now, for the sake of this, the DC for this is 15.
Okay.
So another
Take another 1 point of damage, because take half the damage of a normal... points of damage. Been 2 points of damage last time, too. Take half the normal damage of what you would be taking.
Like I said, it took 2 points
That
last
was
time.
actually... So 2 points last time, had to roll another dice, so this time you actually take 4 points of damage from the feedback and the mage hand is destroyed.
oh,
3, 4, 5. Ouch. Ah!
Well, whatever you're doing is working.
Mm, mm, Kita, pass me a candy.
What are you gonna do with it?
Going to maybe while Failsy's readying up her mage hand for that one, gonna start trying to have the lightning shoot towards this area.
I could also try a word of radiance.
I don't know how well that would work.
It did not. I literally have nothing else besides throwing these candies in there. Didn't say I'm just gonna hand them one.
Okay, Da Vinci is going to try throwing a candy in between these two crystals.
Alrighty then, and Failsy, you're going to try to bring your mage hand back up.
Yeah.
You do so easily enough. You do notice, the more it keeps getting hit by this, you're starting to have a hard time focusing on the spell to form it again.
Please don't break my spell.
Alright, so where do you want... Okay, you're floating it there. Okay.
Yeah.
This clear gray dice is going to be the bottom one. This clear... these are 2 clear gray dice. I need a different dice. This cloudy gray dice is going to be the top one. So the bottom one misses and hits the crystal you've aimed for. The top one hits the candy and evaporates it.
Darn it.
Hey Brimstone, you have bullets that are gonna be a thing in there. Do you want to try and shooting?
Da Vinci, while it's recharging, sorry to interrupt, just thinking quickly, is going to at least cast Shocking Grasp on the one closest to the door on the left.
Go ahead and make an attack roll. You're doing this from outside the room. Alright, so you're not hard to hit. You hit it. you can deal enough damage. Fortunately, you grab it with your shocking grasp, and it just barely doesn't seem to light up.
Mm,
It's probably the
Then-
right crystal, though, because it had the same reaction as the other ones.
Okay, whatever we throw in or do, we need to focus on these two. Just move my token back up here.
Yeah.
The Darinja, we can't do anything.
I'm
It's
gonna
you and Failsy.
Well,
crystal
I can
in
try
front of
chill
this-
touch
Marvin.
again.
Yeah.
Which one to try for Da Vinci?
Try the one closest to the crystal. I'm not sure if you can see it at this angle without sticking your head in the room.
Could not.
I can try blindly. Which I would assume would be
You'll
a
make your attack.
disadvantage.
That's because you can tell, generally speaking, how far apart they should be in this room because they're following a very obvious pattern.
Okay, so
It'd
then.
still be a disadvantage.
Okay.
I'm gonna
17.
try.
Still
Cause
hit.
it to shoot this one.
Please roll.
Right.
7.
All right, that's enough to actually. You can't see it, but you can assume that it worked. You actually felt like your magic made a proper connection that time.
I think I got it.
You
I remember
strike
that
thing.
one you said was this one. You wouldn't be able to
Yep.
see. And Failsy, you wanted to bring it over to the one right next to the door?
I wanted to bring it over and try and get it to hit this. Yeah, I'll go for the door. Yeah, that one's easier.
All right, then. There's also the one Dravinci found out is probably the correct one.
Somehow we've
It
got
actually misses.
Okay.
You watch as the bolt hits this crystal instead of the flask, and a final line draws.
Oh,
You watch it suddenly goes, and the crystals stop arcing energy between them.
I picture during this whole time, Da Vinci's just been kind of laying on the ground because he dive bombed out of the room. Just
I need.
Yeah,
those.
when he did the shocking grass shift, then he literally crawled or turned around and crawled forward and just grabbed the crystal.
yeah, basically. Okay, that worked.
I don't know how, but I managed to get one without looking at it.
So how much time has passed, Darinja?
Let me see.
How singed does my flask look?
The flask looks fine. Your
Man,
actual hand hurts like fuck.
the energy
I
kind
feel
of.
like if that had happened one more time, you probably would have lost the ability of that hand to cast spells.
Oh.
Hmm.
And
At
how
this
does?
point-
Sorry.
You were asking about the time.
Yes,
at this
I was
point-
asking about time. And how does Da Vinci feel?
You feel very exhausted. I actually technically need to roll something because you got hit by this quite a few times.
But
That was cocked.
3 times? Twice?
Yeah,
Twice.
3 times.
Was it 3 times?
Three
I
times?
think 3 times.
No, it was 2 times.
Yeah. Because one of them missed, and both the times that Da Vinci got hit by it. The one,
Yeah,
one was a crit.
one of them was a crit that dealt 6 damage, and the other one was a non-crit that dealt 14 damage.
Yeah.
You also got hit right when you entered the room. I remember
No,
getting hit.
that was electrocuting the ball bearings.
Weird. I thought you got hit 3 times. Oh well.
Just
Make a
twice.
Constitution saving throw that does make the DC higher, or that does make the DC lower. That you only got hit twice.
A 10.
All right. Well, a 10. Check my notes. 10 is what you needed.
Oh, okay. Good.
Oh, thank goodness.
Once was 5, twice was 10, 3 times was 15, 4 times was 20.
Okay, so it scales by 5 for each bolt that hits you.
If not, you would have immediately suffered 1d4 levels of exhaustion.
Ooh. That
Ooh.
Likely, I should have been making you roll that every time you got hit, but I was forgetting because you guys were rushing appropriately.
Okay, now for the time.
The time, you guys are currently at 50 minutes.
Okay, so we have 10 minutes until hour 4 hits.
10 minutes before another full day passed. Let's keep going.
Well, do you want me to walk the path? Let's see if there's any fucking door on the other side.
There's another door on the other side.
There's another door, but it looks.
About you don't kill yourself first? And we have a path set out. At least let me try it.
Crystals that were shooting lightning at you powered down.
Yeah, it's
Like the
if
arcing,
this is
the
a-
arcing between the crystals also went away, just the light of the crystals is still there.
this is a just in case sort of thing because we don't know with this place.
Fair enough. You take
so-
a step into the room and don't get electrocuted.
Yeah, but Keta is going to very specifically follow the lighted path that's laid out for her.
Yeah, you're fine.
Alright. Alright, we're good. I didn't die.
It didn't even occur to me that even led you to the door.
Yeah.
That is my thought. That is like, alright, well, this is just going to lead us to the door.
All right.
My puzzle brain was just like, I should have thought of that. Didn't.
But this was a good death harrowing puzzle.
Dravinci,
Yeah,
do
this
you-
was that high difficulty. Could potentially kill you guys puzzle.
Dravinci, do you need a healing pot?
Well, given that I feel almost worse than the time I danced on a boat for 3 days solid straight. Yeah.
All right.
Is this a
here you
code door? An
It's a
unlocked
wheel.
door? It's a wheel.
go. Okay.
Alright. I'm gonna try it.
Should he roll for it or should I roll for it?
Healing pot, whoever wants to. Technically, the person drinking it usually rolls it.
Okay, it's 2d4 plus 2.
Phil, you want to send over Fenris?
Come on, Fenris, let's get this door.
Or.
So,
She's just like eating one of the crystals.
yeah.
20. Fenris can't open the door himself.
Can I roll my strength check?
Advantage.
Yay. 19!
Needed it.
Fenris jumps up, grabs the thing, and you're just like, "Thanks, Fenris." You essentially just grab Fenris and start using him as a wrench to open the door.
Hey, it works. It got the door open.
Yeah.
Vice jaw-like jaw makes it very easy to turn the crank, as opposed to just constantly letting your hand slip.
After we're done, I give him a pat. Yeah. Good boy.
Most of the now have like dented handrails because of Fenris just biting it.
Fenris keeps hitting them.
Oh, come
Right.
on. There's another door.
I think we've gone in a full circle.
Oh, no, really?
Let's not fight. Let's just get through this, please.
Is Fenris just going to assist again?
Yeah.
Just to be a smartass, Da Vinci is gonna try walking around the other way while they're working on the door.
Yeah, you totally can. It doesn't take that long.
Right.
Okay, go ahead and make. Oh, Fenris is not helping. He's grabbing on the wrong side of the wheel.
Okay. Okay, let's try to do this again. It's
Give us
me!
that baby. Oh, hey, baby strength. You're just like, Fenris,
I'm s-
no. And you take Fenris off the wheel.
Can't just
Can't
sick and tired of
depower
this
it.
place.
Open the door, and Vinci is just standing there waiting for you.
Nice to know that you can help with your own mission, Devente.
The back way was open.
I mean, no matter what, we're still stuck because the door is not open.
Well,
It's actually not closed anymore.
Oh yeah, I'll
it,
get rid of that line.
yeah, it seems to have opened when we finished that last room.
Of course, a crazy temple full of riddles would make us go around in a circle to get a door to open back up.
So now all that's left is those two weird-looking doors with the arrows. So let's make our way there right away.
Yeah.
Those doors while you all have been walking around.
You've been looking at the doors?
I've been thinking about them, I said.
Oh. Sorry, I got a little gunk in my ear.
You all have been shot with lightning and had to solve puzzles. I would admit you're all doing very good at.
As Brimstone's just. I'm just here.
I'm just here. I stabbed a big metal thing.
You're doing you're being very helpful during the combat portions of this world.
Yeah, it's the only thing I'm good at.
Being good at combat is very useful.
So
Anyways.
what were you thinking about the door?
The symbols above the other door remind me of something.
Do you need a
What?
little help? Do you need a little inspiration to help you remember more?
Well, it has something to do with alchemy, but I can't put my finger on it. That's not really one of my practices.
Can we
Well,
just try opening the door?
Well-
See if it works this time?
do you want it to blow up in your face?
Alchemy has a way of doing that.
Let's go see if maybe it is already opened again. Like maybe the lock is disengaged now that we finished these.
Possibly.
That's what I'm saying.
Right then.
Already in that order.
Kato will just
Panels-
kind of. Oh, sorry.
And say your thing.
I was gonna say, as they're checking out this door, Kato will just like tell them that she'll check out this door down here. Tell them like so we can do it at the same time and we don't have to run down.
Alrighty then. Check out both doors simultaneously. The panels above both of them are not lit.
Ah,
All right. Up, down, down.
Wait.
Up.
Question, Felzy. We've been seeing a lot of similar symbols. And they look similar to the symbols that we saw at the entrance. You've been recording them. Do you think we need to enter in those symbols at the front?
Possible.
Probably.
that's
Probably how we
worth
should
a try.
I don't likely be the case. I know for a fact that those are alchemies. So really basic forms of the elemental symbols, but I can't remember which one is which.
Wait. Can I roll? Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say, can Da Vinci, given how much he's training, has focused on elements,
It's not
Would he
specifically
know?
alchemy, but you could attempt an intelligence check.
Can Kent attempt an intelligence check as well?
I would
Or does
also.
one of you want to assist the other, or do you just want to make individual rolls?
This feels like it'd be very much like our own knowledge, I guess. Unless somebody wants to help.
Right, so just make your own individual roll.
I wonder if
3.
I have any book smarts in this.
but
Keta,
Could this be
Keta, no thoughts, head empty.
I miss Lee.
Brimstone would have no reason.
I'm actually gonna reach over and pat Philly and give her inspiration and just go, "You are like the smartest one out of us here."
That intelligence check, I'm wondering if I understood that.
You understand her words, but Da Vinci, you recognize two of them. The upwards pointing opened V. You know that is a symbol that represents fire. Normal V is a symbol that represents wind. Both of those are the design architecture of both working on your and Median's charms.
Oh. Yeah, the
Oh, Christmas roll.
Duality of man.
you have fire something, wind something.
Failsy, you have a brain block.
Fire, water, wind, air.
Brain blast.
Normal, the upwards pointing triangle represents earth, and the downwards pointing triangle represents water.
So, fire, earth, wind, water. Was that the thing?
Sounds like it.
Wait. What if? Philly, you have prestidigitation, right?
Yeah.
What if we have to put the elements in the door? Or on the door?
Can I prestidigitate the elements?
What?
Uh,
You can.
we can't hear you.
I'm not saying anything.
Oh, okay.
He's just letting us.
Well, okay. So I know that like we can create like small mundane things with prestidigitation. So I mean, water's mundane.
I don't know if it works like that.
One, I can very much tell you water is not mundane. Water is very precious and important. And two, maybe that would work.
Failsy, can't you just like throw fire at the fucking thing? Maybe.
Can I at least try my thing just to see if it might work? Because I know I can at least create the feeling of fire.
What are you guys doing?
Can I
A lot of
just
ideas being thrown around.
just to see if it might work, Keta is going to cast prestidigitation on the door and like heat it up like it's fire.
To really heat it up like it's fire, because that would require a spell like heat metal.
Well, I can
Raise
warm
the
something.
temperature a few degrees of or doesn't seem to be any reaction.
Let's try actual fire, and I'll just throw a firebolt at it.
Alright, you throw a firebolt at the door. Just seems to dissipate against the metal.
Let's try. Wait.
Fire, earth.
I have an idea. The 4 rooms we were in. The first room we entered in had a thing that spouted fire. The fourth room we were in. No, the fourth room we were in had crystals that summoned lightning, that of air. The second room we were in had liquids like water.
Wait.
And the third room we were in had a map of the Earth.
What if we got to input the codes that we got, or the patterns we got in the door or some shit? Based on that.
Earth, wind, and...
Wait, that doesn't make sense because the next room we were in was fire, water, earth, air.
I
Yeah.
think
Yeah,
that's-
but we got we got a symbol or code, whatever,
From
from each of them. So we enter the first room's code, then the third room's the up symbol was Earth, right?
the upward triangle.
So we entered the first room, then the third room, then the fourth room, and then the second room.
So fourth, third.
No, first,
First, third, fourth.
first, third,
for the
fourth,
sake of it,
second.
guys, I'm actually going to draw the patterns above the map in the order you guys found them in,
Yeah.
because I feel like that might be helpful.
We're
Yeah.
trying, Ash.
Yeah,
No,
that's
I'm
any-
literally just doing this because I know this is kind of hard to visualize, and you wrote it down as number strings, which is going to potentially hurt you.
No, I think we've been still kind of keeping in the same order.
I know, I'm just doing this to add additional benefit.
Thank you.
Like, are you drawing them next to each room that they
Oh.
go to?
Scroll up.
I did scroll up.
Okay, it's just in the order that we found them.
I'm drawing them in the order you found them because I can't. Freehanding this, trying to put them in the tiny squares next to each room would be very difficult.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Straight across the line in a row.
Yeah, so fire, water,
Fire, water.
earth, and then air is down here too. So
Doing it up
Yep,
here for the
it-
sake of it.
yeah, I know. Just keep them all straight.
Okay, so with that in mind, let's go back to the console.
Double checking one thing are the alchemy symbols. What was their order again?
It was fire, earth, wind, water.
Fire, earth, water.
One,
Yeah, so 1, 3, 4, 2.
Okay.
1, 3, 4, 2.
In the order we want.
How about one of us stay here and let you, like, at least tell you guys, like, when the things led, like, if the things led up.
Could I be?
I could do
Didn't
that.
worry
You
about
guys know the code.
I would be a touch concerned about the possibility of a door closing behind us, but could.
It'd make things a lot easier instead of trying a trial and error.
You guys have also seen that if you put the wrong code in, that actual terminal blinks and tells you put the wrong code in.
Yeah.
I'll stay here with the door to tell you if the symbol's lit up and all, or if anything changes. Okay?
Okay.
I forget the placards above each of the doors over here are the same, right?
Yes, they're the same.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. I was gonna head back to the console.
You head back to the console of 5 buttons.
Andy, mute.
Static burst. That was weird.
Ash, please continue description.
Before I continue the description, Kenta, you suddenly hear. Kenta, can you hear me? This is really hard to do.
Ding dong.
Yeah, implying we're in the fourth day now.
Keto will yell, "We're on day 4!"
Okay.
I pictured the moment Kenta hears that Da Vinci just goes ding dong because he could feel the transition from the watch.
He is slowly but surely figuring out he has to talk really, really slowly to understand him. As to him, your words are like taking a minute each to form.
Yeah, Cat is gonna send back. At least you're learning to talk slower. Almost done. Miss you. Love you. Stay safe.
Don't know what you do, love you, boy.
Outside of the realm, him just listening very intently as he hears your voice in slow motion.
He's just staring at the stone like, give me the next word.
I would like the next word, please.
now I'm also picturing, because Lee's voice gets sped up, it's also high pitched too.
It sounds exactly like how I'm doing it.
Yeah.
It's still his voice, it's just really fast.
I mean, yeah, considering that 1 minute in here is a bit faster than the rest.
Yeah, I've got them in the order needed.
Then
Okay.
Okay, so
I'm plugging the first code. 32541.
you plug it in. Seems to be
Yes.
fine.
Does anything light up on the door over on my end?
You watch symbol lights up.
We gotta light up!
Okay. I'll plug in the second code.
The
this
second
is
code.
the real intense moment as everything's coming together.
13.
The first symbol turns off.
Yeah, symbol turned off!
Did I type that one right? 1, 2, 4, 5, 1, 3. That is in.
Wait, what if I got earth and air mixed up? So swap the two. So it would then be first room, so enter that code back in.
I'll type in the first code.
Nathan?
32514. 41.
Right? Accepts it.
Then the light turns
Then-
on again.
The light turns on again.
Yeah.
Then the last code we got. So the one
154.
yeah, 15432.
Notably, before you even finish putting the code in, it immediately goes.
Oh, fuck.
Before you could push the final 2, it backed out you an error message, essentially.
I guess we're playing Mastermind out of this then. I'll type in the first code, then I will type in the code from the Rainbow Room,
Right then.
which is 34251.
3, 4, 2, 5, 1.
Have I read these wrong?
Oh, your number strings are correct.
What if you have to try the Earth Room?
No, we've just typed in 1 and then all 3 of the others.
Might be missing something about how these codes have to line up.
Oh, the symbols connect to one another, so their starts and ends might be in sync.
If you would like, I will actually move the symbols so they line up in the pattern you have them laid out.
Let's see here.
So
None of them.
But you're certain that this one is the first one.
So if that one's the first one,
Number 3,
then the next one has to be.
the one I put the 3 on top of. Then the one I put number 4 on top of.
Number 4 starts on a 3, just so you know.
So
It's
So
on
it would be
the-
number,
Yeah, so we'd have to have the second one, and then
and then it's this one.
make it
I
continuous.
grabbed the whole screen.
well, we didn't notice because
It was just for me, but it jarred me.
So essentially making a continuous path.
okay. So let's type in this proper full thing if it's linking in together.
This is why I kept mentioning that the
The
actual
number
physical code was important, not the.
Right, that makes sense.
Th-
Right, we need to make a continuous path.
Then why did the second code fail when we put in?
I've got
The-
no idea what it is. Give me a second. Fire. So that was the first code.
I'm assuming at this point you guys have like drawn this out to try to figure it out.
Oops.
You actually have the physical patterns, not numbers in there.
Yeah.
CCT. Oops. Give me a second.
Well, Shaw's actually going to walk up and just say, "Don't they start up on the same number?
And that one, and
You don't need to put in that number twice."
Habuski. Long number.
And let me check my reference number just to see if that is correct.
3, 2, 5, 4, 1, 5, 4.
I know it's convoluted.
I'm also checking it myself. It looks like Failsy put it in correctly. At least if that's the answer.
Keto, you watch as in sequence as Felzy starts punching in this really long sequence of numbers as all 4 lights on that door.
Okay.
Can't have JoJo.
I'm just slapping big panel numbers.
So I imagine like half an hour to an hour had passed during that.
So, he's open. Can I miss you?
I don't think it took that long.
Did a couple. I rolled to see how many had passed. They're currently sitting at the 40-minute mark.
Oh, okay. So never mind.
Okay, 40 minutes passed, but we got it.
Okay.
All right.
Off to the doors.
Yeah.
I rolled two. I basically rolled 2d6 to see how many of my minute tick or my counter tick marks it passed, because each hour has 12
Fair.
counter ticks. That's how I'm determining how long certain tasks are taking.
Fair. No, I assume when all of them lit up, there was. I forget if there was a wheel on the store or not.
There is a wheel on this door, and there is that classic as you guys are as you approach it, not as soon as the light panel comes on for some reason, you'll hear a
Oh, right, yeah, it's a decompression.
wheel starts to turn itself.
Oh,
Oh,
Just take
finally
10
a door
steps
that had you open.
Yeah. Brimstone and Keta just step back,
I don't trust that.
hand on.
Where are you all wanting to position yourselves as these doors are coming open?
Kenta is like all the way back here.
Alright, so you're just standing as far back as you can while watching the doors?
Yeah, she has her sword out.
Door. Do you want to tackle 2 doors at once?
if this is gonna lead to combat, this would probably be the time to end session.
Break. everyone want to do? Do you all want to wrap up this dungeon, or do you want to end session here?
Given that it's almost 11,
Yeah, it's getting.
You guys did not mess up hard enough to cause this to be combat.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is almost 11 and we started late to begin with.
Yeah, and if it's RP, we always take forever for that, so it might be good to cover this next week.
All right then.
Hey, at least we got through 2 puzzles and then figured out this code thing.
Yeah, it seems as though we've gotten through the difficult part, but maybe not.
Knowing us, we're gonna fuck up somehow and turn it into combat next week.
Maybe.
It's possible.
Anything's possible in D&D.
All right.
yeah, just Da Vinci walks in, pulls out the watch. I'm here to find a piece of altar. Ah! And immediately gets stabbed.
Yeah, you found it. Thanks.
Who found it? Stabbing noise.
Yeah, as he's just impaled on a sword. There you go. Now leave. Ow!
I didn't ask for company.
Or just more, oh good, you're the champion. Now we fight to see you're worthy.
Now we
Anyway.
fight to the death.
Now we fuck.
Anyway. Do we have any shilling to do?
No.
Mute.
Yep.
So, just me then?
Yep.
Okay, well, if y'all watched and enjoyed, first of all, sorry we started so late tonight. There were circumstances outside of control, but, you know, we still got a session in tonight, so I'm gonna count that as a win. And if you like this and you would like to catch us next week, hopefully on time, we try to get started at or around 7 p.m. EST on Thursdays in the evening. I apparently I'm from the Department of Redundancy department tonight. But yeah, that's when we normally stream. And that's when we will pick up next week to find out what else this Kronos Temple has in store for us.
Kata can't wait to get back to the arms of her boyfriend.
Labyrinth. I'm sorry. Well, it's Altia's thing, so I keep wanting to call it a temple, because it's like it's a temple to Altia, in a way.
That's fair.
When Kata gets out of this labyrinth, she's just gonna run into the arms of Lee, like, yes, no, please, I missed you.
Eeh.
Would like at least 12 hugs, please.
At least 12 hugs. And maybe a cookie.
Hey, if we get out of here next session, if we don't eat up the last however many hours we have left, we could probably actually start some of the journey to Failhaven on foot. Like, at least get most of the
On
way out
foot.
of the desert. Yeah, that's what I meant when I said on foot. Like, basically not using
Travel.
time, the standard
magic.
travel versus teleportation.
I might be able to finish these gauntlets.
Strong
Yeah.
would've been-
baby.
So useful in this bloody place.
We should see. It like we should have brought Lee in, but like also like Kata knows that like he would have gotten himself hurt in here.
And also, then, who would be making food for Osnig?
Osnig might burn down the cart.
We're gonna come out and Osnig's gonna be like 20 pounds heavier.
Yeah, he's
Look
gonna
like
be,
tubs.
he's gonna be spherical.
Oh, fuck.
No, eating and cooking.
Yeah,
No,
Lee just, I've been stress biking.
Now
I can
I'm
see
also
it.
picturing like Brimstone looking around him. Okay, you're so fat we can't exactly put a gun on you. What? Oh wait, just sticks a gun in the flab. There, mounted gun.
That's not how that works.
Okay,
Least-
anyway.
Yeah, anyway.
Starts making all Keta's favorite treats. Here's dessert.
We'll vamp about it after we're done with the stream. Let's
Yeah.
go ahead and
Alright, bye.
Alright. Everybody say goodnight.
Good night.
Good night.
Hi, goodbye, good friends, goodbye.
Good night. Good night, everybody. We'll see y'all next week.